Listeners, I begin with a reader's note and then continue that reader's note at the end. Karen, listener of the New York Times, writes this article about Union City, September 15th, 2024. The subject is a Union City property, and Karen, for some reason, does not include an address. I've made a few taps to solve this mystery, and more at the end. New York Times, 15 September 2024. Karen, listener. Finally, a ruling on the fate of the Palisades. After being tied up in litigation for years, an assemblage of 13 properties on the cliffs west of Hoboken will see what the market has in store for them. It is rare a sizable parcel of land to come up for sale in Union City, the third most densely populated city in America, according to census. But a federal judge appointed a real estate brokerage to sell 13 most contiguous properties on a 2.5-acre atop the Palisades west of Hoboken after ongoing litigation among property owners tied up development for at least 9 years. In early July, Judge Leo M. Gordon of the United States Court of International Trade appointed the Kislak Company of Woodbridge, New Jersey, as the sales broker, which is now seeking potential developers for the site. Judge Gordon was assigned the case in the U.S. District Court in Newark to help out with a backlog of cases, according to a senior courtroom deputy, Nitsa Kriegen. Jason Pucci, chief executive of Kislak, said that the selling price for the properties, as well as what might be built there, remains to be seen, depending on interest from developers and offers received. Kislak is the process of adding a 14th cliffside property to the parcel, bringing the total to 2.68 acres. But that deal has not yet been finalized, Mr. Pucci said. The property has sat vacant since an investment group bought the houses from individual homeowners from 2005 through 2009. The investment group, Sky Point LLC, had visions of demolishing the century-old houses and creating 2 residential towers totaling 99 units and a park. They scheduled a community meeting on the proposal for September 2019, then canceled it. Nothing had advanced until the court ruling in July 2024. Kislak, deadline for the bids, September 12th, 2024. Once sold, the proceeds will go to the court for eventual disbursement to the partnership, including Sky Point LLC, that owns and is selling the properties. Mr. Pucci said it's possible several buyers could purchase parts of the land, but Kislak would prefer to sell the parcels as one. It is zoned for smaller scale residential, he said, and we're anticipating that's what someone is going to do. There are height restrictions, and you don't want to block the views of neighbors. The land falls into the city's Palisade Preservation Overlay District, which is currently zoned for low-density residential development and a few other uses such as parks and playgrounds. Neighbors in the area have been frustrated for years as the property fell into ruins, and some now say they're hopeful for development. Kate Sparrow, a neighbor on Mountain Road, who started a petition in 2015 to remove the abandoned properties, said she has recently noticed for sale signs on the property. I'd like to see townhouses, Ms. Sparrow said. not like the huge apartment buildings down in Jersey City. I hope they keep the cliff wild. And captioned with a photograph, a federal judge has appointed a real estate brokerage firm to sell 13 mostly contiguous properties on 2.25 acres atop the Palisades of Union City, New Jersey. Houses with perfect views of New York City skyline have been left to rot, residents say. Kislak. Listeners, this is a reader's note. I tried to find this property. For some reason, Karen didn't include it. Perhaps the address is, I don't know. She probably has some reason to omit the address. So I searched Kislak Company in Woodbridge, and they're a real estate company that have properties all over the country, all over, too broad for me to get anything helpful. But then I used Sky Point LLC, which is another entity Karen mentioned. And I used Sky Point LLC, Union City, New Jersey. And I don't want to tell you that what I found, because what I found might be wrong, but to me it pinpoints to a level that helps. It at least helps me understand the location of, which is the subject of what I just read. Other than that, you're on your own. If you're curious enough as I was to find and pinpoint the location, then that's as far as I got, though I'm not confident and I hit it precisely. Ciao, buenas noches, buenas tardes, buenos dias. Listeners, I begin with a reader's note and then continue that reader's note at the end. Karen, listener of the New York Times, writes this article about Union City, September 15th, 2024.